Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Curse Reacts, right? So, technically, I'm not reacting to anything at this given moment, but I would like to talk about the upcoming quarterfinal of the college football playoff, right? And we have four games that we have I think these are very good games. I'm not going to lie to you. So, I really look forward to these, and I kind of want to just bring my predictions up and kind of say who I think is going to win and what the score is. Defense to handle, right? Ty Benefield is their best bet, which is their safety, and he's a freshman, but he's been a phenom for them in terms of what he's been able to do to impact games. So they're going to really have to bank on him being at his ceiling and showing what he can do in that game. But I do think that Penn State will be aggressive early. Boise State's only chance is to try to keep the game close before half is over. But if Penn State runs away with it early, they're running away with it entirely. So I think they're going to win the game. I think the score's going to be 31-21. That's my choice for that game. Texas versus Arizona State. So Coach Dillingham done a great job. I think the one thing that I could say is they had some big wins, which was BYU and Iowa State. But, that was obviously because of Scadaboo, their key player, which is their running back, and he's just been phenomenal too. But this game gives me the same vibe of Penn State versus Boise State, which is the team that's not favorited. Their best bet is their running back. Without him, I don't know how their offense is going to function. They lost Jalen Tyson in the regular season, and he's just been out, so they don't have their best receiver at hand, so they're going to play with a disadvantage here. And Texas just has an overall great team. The biggest question is, will the moment be too big for Texas? And honestly, if they come if Texas plays to their floor, Arizona State has a chance to win the game. If they play with their ceiling, it's a blowout, right? And anywhere in between, I think that it's going to be a relatively fair game for Texas to kind of run away with it in the end. So for me, it's really balanced attack. Quinn Ewers, you can't rely on him to pretty much like save you, right? Because if you do that, that's when you're going to be in a problem or in a bind, I would say. But as far as I'm concerned, I think Texas just outclasses Arizona State, and I have them winning the game 35-21. I would take the spread on that, guys. I would take the spread on that. Okay, so Georgia versus Notre Dame, right? And again, hats off to the coaches. They've gotten this far. Fantastic. Notre Dame, listen, guys. I smell an upset. I do. I just do. I think that Notre Dame got it this time. I think that their defense showed that they can play. I think that they've proven, at least to me, that they are capable of moving forward in the playoff bracket. So they've held teams that are ranked opponents to 16 points per game, while Georgia has held their teams to 20 points per game. They're gonna have to be a run dominant team because you lost Carson Beck for the year. You got Gunnar Stockton. And they beat Texas, but that's off of a great Georgia defense, which I think their defense is good, but it's been up and down. All right, it's been up and down. If Georgia plays to their floor, this game, Notre Dame could run away with this game, right? Because you're playing against a Riley Leonard, which is a mobile quarterback, and it seems that Georgia's defenses throughout the season had trouble with mobile quarterbacks. Jalen Milroe, Georgia Tech's quarterback, right? Like Ole Miss, right? Like they just had a hard time keeping up with mobile quarterbacks. And if they can't hold Riley Leonard to at least make him throw the ball more than he'd like to, you're pretty much asking for a comfortable game for Notre Dame, and they're going to just run away with it, right? They can run the ball. They've done all these things. And honestly, I don't see where Georgia can really win out here. But I do think it's going to be a dogfight because Georgia's defense is formidable. I have Notre Dame winning this game 21-17. It's an upset. That's going to be box office, right? I look forward to watching that game, even though it's going to be a gut out, but I do think Notre Dame is going to come out on top. Now, this game to me is the game of the quarterfinal, right? Like the Rose Bowl is going to be extravagant. I expect a shootout. Ohio State, Oregon, I expect a shootout, guys. I expect a shootout. There's no way this game doesn't come down to the wire towards the end of it. And I have Oregon winning this game 37-34. And I guess it's an upset because they're not favored, even though they won in their last matchup, which Ohio State could have won that game. But they made some miscues, obviously, at the end of the game. Will Howard had the slide, which ran the clock out and he wasn't aware of it. That's unfortunate. But they did have a chance to win that game. Oregon was down for majority of that game, but Dylan Gabriel was able to get him back into the game. He didn't get sacked. He didn't get sacked. And I think Ohio State does better. After that loss, Ohio State has done better at pressuring quarterbacks. But Oregon was without their key players, which was Jordan Burch, their best D lineman, and Trayshawn Holden, which he got booted from the game because of an unsportsmanlike, right? So having Oregon in full throttle, full force, and with Ohio State kind of having to come back and prove that they can win, it puts Oregon in a comfortable place, and it's a neutral site. I think it's going to be a shootout for sure. I rewatching that matchup that they had in the regular season, Oregon's receiving core literally was running laps on Ohio State's corners. They had PI calls because they got beat off the line of scrimmage several times. If that happens again and you get those penalties, that's free yards, right? And that's something that I noticed, and I think that it definitely could play a role. Jeremiah Smith is their X factor for Ohio State. If Oregon can find a way to slow him down, everyone else, Emeka Egbuka is going to have a big game for them, right? The other players are going to have to have a big game. Igbinosun on defense is going to have a big game, right? Like a lot of their defensive pieces are going to have huge games in this one. And honestly, like I think both teams are going to play to their ceiling, which is why I think it's going to be neck and neck. But I have Oregon winning this game 37-34. Dan Lanning is going to advance. So those are my picks, guys. I hope that the games go as I think they will. But regardless, I just hope that there's going to be great football being played. Obviously, the first round was a bit of a snoozer, but it's okay. You expect that from teams that are meant to be here, and it's a bigger playoff, right? So you see the difference between how good some teams are compared to some that just got into the playoff because it's a 12 team, right? And I think that over time, as years continue, we will get even competition throughout. Right? This is the first year of our implementation. This is the first year of the implementation. So I think that if you just give it some time, the product is exactly what we expect the product to be, and that's box office. So with that being said, though, I'll catch you guys all later. I hope you guys watch the games, and yeah, I mean, I'm ready for college football, man. I love the sport. I love the sport so much. So yeah, I'll catch y'all later.